Hey, Happy New Year. It's raining cats and dogs out here. Stokely from Sauce on Delay. Oh man, you must hear the rain, right? Anyhow, I was at work and they had a pamphlet. They had a pamphlet out. Says it's from United Healthcare. Says a little support can make a big difference. So this pamphlet is about mental health and about, with the insurance policy that we have, everybody gets 3 free sessions of telephone, a phone time with a, mental health specialist. I don't know what kind. Psychiatrist, psychologist, social worker, counselor, I don't know. But they talk about substance abuse here. They talk a lot about substance abuse. And it's telling that there's a direct correlation and a word association by the experts when it comes to mental health and substance abuse. There's a direct correlation. The front of the pamphlet is called "A Little Support Can Make a Big Difference." It has a construction worker on the front of it. And what they're talking about, like I said, is substance abuse. Now, you can have problems, you can have issues in life and you need help and whatever. And your response to these issues, could be varied, could be so many different responses, right? But what is the number one go-to response that's been targeted or addressed by this pamphlet from United Healthcare? They're in the healthcare business, right? The number one issue, which this pamphlet is about, is drug use, drug abuse, substance abuse, whatever you want to call it. Substance abuse, because it doesn't even have to be drugs. We've talked about this so many times. It could be food, could be behavior, could be bad thoughts, all kind of stuff. It doesn't even need to be a substance, in my opinion. But let's listen to these stats, and then I'm going to follow up with something. Then I'm going to say something. It says 13% of Americans started or increased substance use to cope with stress related to COVID-19. So the conditions, COVID-19 is just one problem. Now we have an economic downturn coming ahead. So, there's people need help. So, okay, then it goes on and says 90% of adults who are addicted to nicotine, alcohol, or drugs began using before the age of 18. So that's very telling. That means you got to protect your kids from the influence of these drugs, because 90% of the people who are addicted to drugs were using drugs before they were 18 years old. Isn't that crazy? So that means, if you can make it out by 18 without using drugs or alcohol, then you got 90% chance of not becoming drug addicted. Okay, now it says it's not just an adult problem. Substance use among kids is more common than you may think, with 10% of 12-year-olds reporting they tried alcohol. 50% by age 15. Well, I guess, maybe their parent give them a little wine or something just to laugh about it or whatever. They are at greater risk because the part of their brain that controls judgment is still developing, which is why it's never too soon to start talking about it to reduce negative consequences. So they're saying that children's judgment is still not developed by the time they're even 15, 18 years old. But and I'm not going to go further into that because I'll get political. But some people believe that a person's brain doesn't stop growing until they're about 25 years old. Now, marijuana is legalized, and it's everywhere. I went to Manhattan the other day, stepped out the car. It smells like marijuana everywhere. Out at Port Authority. So there were a lot of homeless people there, stuff like that. So of course mental health issues go along with homelessness and all of that. So that's understandable. But I can smell it when I drive in the evenings. I'm driving home, people smoking in their cars and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily have an issue with that. But marijuana is linked to schizophrenia. Is supposedly associated with schizophrenia. Also, like I said, the human brain doesn't stop growing until 25. So if we're legalizing recreational marijuana for people who are 21 years and older, their brain still has another 4 years to develop. Now, I can't say that you can prohibit someone that's 24 years old, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to their 25 years old before they can use marijuana. I don't know if that's advisable. They're adults now. They can do whatever they want to do, and we want to, allow people to enjoy the fruits of their labor and everything, and the medicine, that's whatever. But it's like I said, the judgment center in the brain hasn't been developed by 18, and scientists believe that the human brain doesn't finish developing until you're about 25. And drugs and alcohol, we just stated, 90% of the people began using before they were 18 years old. Drugs is a very dangerous thing, and even something as, we would say, something as harmless as marijuana could potentially affect your brain. So that's all I really want to say. It's up to everybody. I'm not against it. I'm not against people having the freedom to do whatever they want. I'm just relaying the information that they said the judgment center in your brain is still not developed by 18 years old. So, and you can look it up. Some people believe that your brain doesn't stop developing until you're about 25 years old. So, when we use these substances or abuse these substances, which it could be anything, we're risking a lifelong dependency. We're risking damage to our brains, and we need everybody. We need everybody to be awake. We need everybody to be around. We need everybody to be aware. We need everybody to be in control of themselves and healthy and happy and all these things, But that's all I had to say. I don't really have much else to say. Happy New Year, and thanks for listening.